On today's Daily Strike, the Lightning rally for a 2-1 shootout win over the Blackhawks. This is the latest news and notes on the Tampa Bay Lightning for Saturday, January 24th, 2026. I'm Steve Versnick. The Lightning were in Chicago on Friday night for the first game of a back-to-back. While the Bolts controlled play in the first period, a turnover led to a Blackhawks goal. The Lightning challenged it for offsides, but the play stood and Tampa Bay trailed 1-0 after one. Very late in the second period.
Destu directs it behind the Hawks net. Vlasic blocks it. Can he clear it? He's hounded by Cirelli. Cirelli trying to hold this in. Will for Hagel left circle. Put it in front. Kucherov! Score! Kucherov! And he's tied the game at 1.
For Kucherov, it's his 25th goal, and the game was tied. It would remain that way through 3 periods and then the overtime, despite the Bolts outshooting the Hawks 31-18. It's the 6th time this season that the Lightning have held an opponent to less than 20 shots. In the shootout,
Kucherov takes the puck. Straight down the middle of the ice on Soderblom. Kucherov holds, shoots, score! Similar to the goal he scored in Pittsburgh, and he gives a little quiet sign to the crowd.
but the Hawks would tie it, and then in the 5th round,
All right, Dominic James, his first shootout attempt. The former Chicago draft pick. James cutting in front, hold, shoot, score! Dominic James through the wickets of Soderblom. The Lightning win the shootout 3-2, and they win the game 2-1.
it was James's first ever penalty shot in the NHL.
Coop kind of tapped me on the shoulder and said, get out there. So I started thinking of my move, and I don't know, I think my body just did that, put it 5-hole, so I'm not sure. But
It was also Dom's first career game-deciding goal. The 2-1 win means the Lightning have points in 15 straight games. That is the 3rd longest streak in team history. They are 14-0-1 in this stretch and back in first place in the Atlantic Division. Head coach John Cooper on the game.
You feel like you're playing pretty well and you'd like to be a little bit more rewarded than you are, but that then kind of tests the mettle of your players, and you just don't want them trying to kind of go and manufacture something out of nothing just because we can't score right now. And I thought our play without the puck was excellent. We didn't really give them much, and they needed a break from a video review that was shocking to me for their goal to count.
J.J. Moser on their strong defense.
we didn't give the opposing teams much. And then, just like I said, that patience, even when the games are tied late in the game, that we don't think that we have to reinvent the wheel and get risky and maybe give up some chances, so that we just stay patient, do the things we need to do, and then trust that in the end we're going to get the bounces and the goals we need.
The Lightning have now gotten points in 13 straight road games, adding to their franchise record. They are 11-0-2 in that stretch on the road. They're now 19-4-4 on the road this season. Andrei Vasilevskiy made 17 saves, including 4 in overtime for his 353rd win. He is now tied for 24th in wins in NHL history. Congrats to Erik Cernak, who played in his 471st game on Friday. That ties him with Mikhail Sergachev for the 4th most games played among defensemen in franchise history. Jack Finley left Friday's game after one shift in which he had a fight with Nick Foligno. Coach Cooper says they are very precautious with upper body injuries, so they kept him out of the game. Tampa Bay improves to 8-1-1 in the front half of back-to-back games this season. Tonight they're in Columbus to face the Blue Jackets for the second of 3 meetings this season. Columbus won 3-2 back on October 18th. The Jackets are coming off a 1-0 win over Dallas. They're currently in 7th place in the Metro Division. The Lightning are 6-2-1 in the second half of back-to-back games this season. We expect Jonas Johansson to get the start in net. He's 5-1-1 in his last 7 starts. So the Lightning are in Columbus. They'll play the Blue Jackets. Puck drop scheduled for 7:08 p.m. Eastern. Our radio pregame coverage starts at 6:30 on 102.5 The Bone and in the Lightning mobile app. The game will be televised on The Spot, Tampa Bay Channel 66. The Lightning will be back home Monday night when the Utah Mammoth are in town. Puck drop scheduled for 7 p.m. Limited tickets remain at TampaBayLightning.com.
This day in Lightning history.
It was on this date in 2004 that Marty St. Louis had his second hat trick in 9 days in a 6-2 win over Calgary. The 9 days is the fewest days between 2 hat tricks by a single player in team history. The Syracuse Crunch, they start a home-and-home tonight with the Utica Comets. It'll be a home game tonight and then a road game tomorrow afternoon. The Orlando Solar Bears beat the Iowa Heartlanders 3-1 thanks to 2 goals in 55 seconds. Orlando getting goals from Logan Britt, Aaron Luchuk, and Dylan Gill. The Solar Bears host the Atlanta Gladiators Sunday afternoon. Thank you for listening to the Daily Strike for Saturday, January 24th, 2026. I'm Steve Versnick, where every day is Hockey Day.